You know, it's widely known that Vince McMahon hates tag team wrestling, man. I don't know how you can hate tag team wrestling after a night like tonight. I don't know. Is it even fucking possible? FTR and the Briscoes. An absolute war. An absolute classic. That put both teams in legendary territory. With FTR really making a claim. And I thought this was out of the realm of possibility to even discuss this right now. FTR really making a claim for being the greatest tag team of all time. They're absolutely the greatest tag team of my generation. Right now, this generation. They may be the greatest tag team at the end of their run. They may be the greatest tag team of all time. Samoa Joe proved tonight that he could still go. Excellent match with Jay Lethal. And Claudio Castagnoli is finally a world heavyweight champion. In relatively easy fashion as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the OTS venue tonight. And in the spirit of professional wrestling and for the love of professional wrestling, Ring of Honor is alive and well. And I only got one question for you before I get the hell out of here. What the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Is AEW successful? Why is Tony Khan running his promotion better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard are running Monday night and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor 2022 post-show. I am JD from New York, as always, coming to you live from the OTS Beer Garden. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on your Saturday evenings, wherever you may be. Man, it's always difficult to cover these shows. It really is. This show was incredible tonight. If anybody did not catch this show tonight, I would tell you without a shadow of a doubt to go and watch this show if you can. Ring of Honor is alive and well, man. Ring of Honor is alive and well, and this was one of the best wrestling shows all year. This blue super card of honor out of the water, and that was a great show in its own right. But this show, aesthetically, this show just, the way it felt, it was tremendous. Everything about it. I love everything about this Ring of Honor, man. I think Tony Khan is doing an incredible job right now operating this brand without a TV deal. A TV deal will be imminent if they continue doing what they're doing. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt in my mind that Tony Khan is going to get Ring of Honor a TV deal if he continues to produce shows like this. As long as he continues to produce shows like this, people will be incredibly happy with what he is doing with Ring of Honor. I don't even know where to begin, man. FTR and the Briscoes obviously was the main event. Tremendous match, 2 out of 3 falls. I really don't even know how to even begin covering it. It was a war. It was a war. It was every bit as good, if not better, than their first match. And even right now, I can't even tell you which one was better. There's no point in comparing the two. Seriously. They were both so incredibly different, and the vibes of each match were so incredibly different, one compared to the other. The first match had that intensity around it, with both teams coming out pretty much staking the claim of being the best tag team in all of pro wrestling. Tonight, the match was more about not only that, but the urgency of the 2 out of 3 falls. Are you good enough to beat us twice in one night? And then you add the prestige and how FTR treats the Ring of Honor tag team titles and how the Briscoes want the Ring of Honor tag team titles. You mix all of that into one big bowl and you stir it up nice. It's a recipe for success. Tremendous match. Absolutely tremendous match. They call them 7-star FTR for a reason. I won't be shocked if this match does receive 7 stars at the end of its grading period. Tag team wrestling is alive and well, man. I find it very funny. I find it very funny how, oh shit, something just flew in front of me. Holy shit. Holy shit. What is this, a bee? I just spilled my fucking water everywhere. Oh, now it's dead. Now it's dead. I don't even know what the fuck I was talking about. What the fuck was this thing? Holy shit, the size of this fucking thing. You saw that? Oh my goodness. Oh. This is what we get for being live, folks. This is what we get for being live. Bro, I legitimately had it looked like a fucking bee in here. Oh my goodness, man. Let me get some towels out. Hold on. I'm always prepared. Always prepared. No, I don't even want... Oh, he's dead. He's dead. Goodbye. Goodbye. He's dead. Now I don't have any cold beverage. Jesus fucking Christ, man. I'm spilling my fucking water all over the place. Hold on one sec. You know what? Fuck this shit. Whatever the fuck it was, man, it's dead. Hold on one second. He's still alive. Motherfucker's still kicking around, man. He's like 2 out of 3 falls over here. Spilled half of it on my fucking desk. There you go. Where was I? Where was I? Now he's dead. He was still alive. He was still alive. Now I had to waste my cold beverage, man. We had to go and open another one. Anyway, sorry about the interruption here, folks, but I got water everywhere now. This is what happens when we're live, man. I tell you, it's off the script for a reason. Death before dishonor. Death before dishonor, right? He chose death. He chose death. 7-star FTR, man. 7-star FTR. Where was I? Where was I? The matches were vastly different from one another, and I was talking about how Vince McMahon and how he just hates professional wrestling. Vince McMahon hates professional wrestling. It's something that WWE has never really fully embraced. And after tonight, I don't really know how you don't embrace tag team wrestling. I don't know how you don't embrace tag team wrestling at all after tonight. And I remember being on a Twitter Spaces with my buddy Ticket Drew. I don't know if you guys remember Ticket Drew or know who he is, Andrew Badalla. We were doing a Twitter Spaces, and the discussion got brought up between, those that were in the Twitter Spaces. FTR is the greatest tag team of all time. FTR is the greatest tag team of all time. And I'm like, listen, man, I'm not saying that they can't be the greatest tag team of all time, but I think it's a little bit too early to be discussing the greatest tag team of all time for FTR. And after tonight, man, I'm seriously putting my name into that hat. I really am putting my name into that discussion. I really feel like FTR should be in discussion for the greatest tag team of all time after tonight. After this run is over, this may be the greatest run that any tag team has ever had in the history of pro wrestling. And I honestly mean that. I've already stated that I think Dax Harwood is probably Pro Wrestler of the Year right now. The way we see things play out on weekly television, if I was to vote for somebody, man, you could vote for anybody. You could vote for your Bryan Danielsons. You could vote for your Adam Pages. You could vote for your Adam Coles. You could vote for your Kazuchika Okadas and Jay Whites and all that shit. I'm going with my boy Dax Harwood, man. Seriously. Absolutely tremendous main event. Briscoes, they just recently signed with Ring of Honor. Long term. I wish it was more of a situation where we seen them on AEW, but signing them to Ring of Honor and making them the face of that Ring of Honor tag team division was a tremendous get for Tony Khan. I'm just glad that they've really opened their eyes, and if Warner Discovery has anything to do with Ring of Honor, I'm glad that they finally opened their eyes and understand how valuable the Briscoes are to anything that Tony Khan is doing as far as tag team wrestling is concerned. The other big thing that happened tonight is Claudio Castagnoli. Claudio Castagnoli and Johnathan Gresham, Ring of Honor World Championship. I didn't know which was going to close the show. Both had tremendous, I would say, stigmas behind it. Got the Ring of Honor World Championship. Obviously, the Ring of Honor World Championship, your World Championship, should be defended in the main event. It's the biggest title in the company. But as far as everything is concerned, I don't mind what Tony Khan did tonight. The fact that the match was pretty much booked on a whim between Claudio and Johnathan Gresham. There was really no build to it. He needed a main event pretty quickly for this show. And FTR Briscoes has been something that's been developing over the last several months. I had no problem with him putting that in the main event and opening the show with Johnathan Gresham and Claudio Castagnoli tonight for the Ring of Honor World Championship. The whole story of the match was, and they really made it known to everybody watching Dynamite and watching Rampage, that Claudio has never won a World Championship. Claudio's never won a World Championship. This would be his first, if he won it tonight, his first major World Championship in any promotion. So you knew, you just had an inkling of a feeling that he was going to win this match. And the match itself really didn't deliver the way we know a Johnathan Gresham can deliver. And it didn't deliver the way we know a Claudio can deliver. But at the end, Claudio won the Ring of Honor World Championship. He finally achieved that career dream, that career goal of finally being a world champion. And it's really eye-opening to see, and I don't know how many other people are going to talk about this, and I mentioned this leading into the show. I mentioned this on Dynamite for the post-show. I mentioned this on Off the Script last week. Claudio winning the World Championship was the right business move for Tony Khan. Claudio Castagnoli being the Ring of Honor World Champion is the right move for Tony Khan at this moment. Not only does it put Tony Khan and Ring of Honor in a position to have the company led by a major name, an ex-WWE superstar. And I'll get to that in a second. Some people might not like that. It also helps AEW continue to build the Blackpool Combat Club as legitimately the best stable in all of pro wrestling. And I look at them and I'm like, look at the collection of talent in the Blackpool Combat Club. Look at the Wheeler Yutas and how far he's come along. Look at Bryan Danielson. I mean, just look at him. Nothing needs to be said. It's Bryan fucking Danielson. Jon Moxley is the AEW interim world champion. Led by William Regal. Everybody loves William Regal, right? We all know what William Regal did with NXT. We know how ingrained in that product and the vision that he had for black and gold. You put all of that together and you put them all in the same group and call them the Blackpool Combat Club. How the fuck can you hate on anything that they're doing? The Blackpool Combat Club now has Jon Moxley and Claudio. The Blackpool Combat Club has 2 world champions. 2 world champions. That's tremendous. No matter what you think of the Ring of Honor World Championship, the Ring of Honor World Championship is fucking prestigious. Without Ring of Honor, AEW doesn't exist. Without Ring of Honor, Triple H doesn't do black and gold. Without Ring of Honor, WWE wouldn't have half the fucking roster it has on Monday and Friday night. The Ring of Honor World Championship is prestigious no matter what happened to the company in the middle of the pandemic. Yes, it got shut down. Tony Khan purchased it. Tony Khan revived it. Tony Khan is putting on some great pro wrestling with the Ring of Honor brand. Start respecting the Ring of Honor World Championship. Claudio wins that title tonight. He won the World Championship tonight. And as far as that is concerned for Ring of Honor's TV deal, that is what you need to focus on. Ring of Honor's success is going to be a huge thing that people are going to have a microscope on. What better way to start the wheels and get the wheels running than with Claudio and FTR? You got Mercedes Martinez as a great face for the women's division. Wheeler Yuta as the ROH Pure Champion. And the other talents that you see on this show tonight. Look at the top of the fucking roster that he's putting together. If I'm Warner Media, if I'm somebody that wants weekly pro wrestling television live, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for those types of names. So whatever Tony Khan did tonight, this was the right move. Claudio winning the World Championship was the right business move. And yes, it does look like he's got his favorites. Everybody's got their favorites. But he's putting the ball in their hands because he trusts them. That's how much love he has for Ring of Honor. To give somebody like that, he didn't choose anybody to give the Ring of Honor World Championship to. He could have given it to Samoa Joe. He could have given it to Jay Lethal, right? He could have kept it on Johnathan Gresham, who's ingrained in the technical aspect of professional wrestling. He went with somebody that's been there. He could have went with Bryan Danielson. He could have went with Bryan Danielson to be the Ring of Honor World Champion. He went with Claudio because Claudio was there from day one. Claudio got his career started in Ring of Honor. Yes, he does have his favorites, and you're seeing that he does have his favorites. And yes, it may rub people the wrong way that, oh my God, AEW is giving all the preferential treatment to the WWE guys, and Ring of Honor is giving the preferential treatment to the WWE guys. He's got a business to build. He's got a business to run. He's doing it the right way. This is the same thing that we talked about with Kenny Omega and Adam Page winning the AEW Tag Team Championships. How many people How many people out there wanted a private party to be tag team champions from day one? How many people out there wanted the Lucha Brothers to be tag team champions from day one? How many people out there wanted Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus to win the tag team championships because of how hot they were and how over with the fan base they were from day one? He opted to give it to his EVPs. He opted to give it to Kenny Omega, and he opted to give it to Adam Page. Look at what they did with the tag team championships. When they dropped those tag team championships, how better off was the division because Adam Page and Kenny Omega held those championships for as long as they did, and how better off was the division because of the work ethic that those men put into every fucking match that they went out there and wrestled. How much better did the division look after that match with the Young Bucks at Revolution? That's why he gave them the tag team championships. Build the division up, develop the prestige of the title, and then when you drop those championships to the next team, everything that you laid the foundation for will be better off for it, and all teams are going to thrive from that point forward. That's exactly what he's doing with Claudio. That's exactly what he's doing with FTR. It's all about the booking. You can't give just anybody the Ring of Honor World Championship. You can't keep Johnathan Gresham, no matter how great he is, as Ring of Honor World Champion. Yes, he's great, but who's Johnathan Gresham in the business side of things when you're trying to get a TV deal with Ring of Honor? He's doing what he has to do to build the brand so everybody finds success. This is not going to be Johnathan Gresham's first go-around as Ring of Honor World Champion. So why are you claiming that Tony Khan made the wrong decision to give Claudio the World Championship? This is every bit of a right decision that I've ever seen all year. And the added little fucking aspect of it was Vince McMahon never found anything in Claudio to a point where he would make him a world champion on WWE television. Tonight was a slap in the face of Vince McMahon because he doesn't recognize talent staring him right in the fucking face. Oh, he doesn't have what it takes to connect with the fan base. Really? I don't know what you're listening to, but every time Claudio's out there, people are on their fucking feet. I don't know what you're listening to, but Claudio tonight received the standing ovation and the just unbelievable praise from everybody in that arena in Lowell, Massachusetts tonight. He got thrown into blood and guts. He got thrown into a match with Zack Sabre Jr. where it rivaled CM Punk's fucking reaction inside the United Center. No, but he can't connect with a fucking crowd, says Vince McMahon, who now is finished, retired. Good riddance. That was the right move to make. Samoa Joe and the TV championship. Another guy who could have easily been, like I said, Ring of Honor World Champion. Came in hot. Tony Khan's given him another WWE name. Mostly an Impact name, mostly a TNA legend. He wrestled for WWE, but everybody's going to always choose ex-WWE superstar Samoa Joe. He was a major proponent of Triple H's NXT, former NXT World Champion. He's holding the second most, actually third, I would say. FTR's holding the second most important World Championship right now in Ring of Honor. The TV Championship, I would say, is the third. Samoa Joe and Jay Lethal, tremendous match. I loved the pacing of the match. I loved the way the match was laid out tonight. We'll talk about that in a little bit. He retains the title over Jay Lethal in what I thought was Samoa Joe's best match in many years. He still looks like he's a force to be reckoned with, man. Honestly. He is unbelievable. And I'm glad that he's at a state right now where he is healthy. He's continuing to be healthy. I know a lot of people were questioning why he was out for so long. I don't think it was anything injury related. I do think that, there was an overabundance of titles on AEW television, and it's very difficult to have Samoa Joe there. And, obviously you want to use him. Meanwhile, he's off TV. He's selling the injuries that had happened from Satnam Singh and Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt. And you keep him off television for 4 or 5 weeks. You sell this match just based on the injury angle. And then when he gets back, he's a house on fire. And that's exactly what we've seen tonight. And it ended up being a great pro wrestling match with Samoa Joe retaining the TV championship. This was a tremendous pay-per-view. A tremendous pay-per-view. Everything about this show, I loved, man. I love the logo. I love the colors of the logo. I love the small, intimate crowds. They packed that place, man. I was actually surprised that they packed that place the way that they did on short notice. This was basically 3 weeks with tickets being on sale. And Tony Khan, it looked like on paper, the card was going to be great. I didn't know how it was going to play out, to be honest with you. It looked great on paper. I didn't know how it was all going to play out because there was really nothing going into many of these matches, especially the World Championship matches. The only matches that really had any pay-per-view build were Samoa Joe, Jay Lethal, and the Briscoes with FTR. Everything else was just kind of thrown together. Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta had a fantastic match today for the Pure Championship. Roosh and Dragon Lee, my goodness, man, I'd be fucking shocked if you guys wanted to tell me that was your favorite match of the night. I would not look at you weird. That was a tremendous match between those two guys. I love the logo. I love the lighting. I love the small, intimate crowds. I love the production value. Everything about this show was great. Great. And we're going to go over exactly what happened in these matches. I'm not going to break everything down the way that I usually do because nobody wants to listen to me break down move for move, sequence for sequence. With these shows, man, it's very difficult to do. It's very difficult to take notes. You're just so ingrained in watching the show and you're so fixated on watching the show. Nobody wants to sit in front of their laptop or their iPad fucking typing away with their head down, missing all the action. So we're going to go over everything as best we can tonight right here on Off the Script. And I, again, apologize for the little mishap here, man. I don't know what the fuck was. A bee? It looked like possibly a lightning bug. Those little lightning bugs, man, that you see in the summertime. They fly around and they flicker, right? I don't know what it was. I'm not a bug guy. I'm not an insect guy, man. But this is why we're live. Anything can happen. I spilled half of my cold beverage on my desk and on my soundboard and on my mouse pad. He's dead. He ain't going anywhere. He chose death before dishonor. And now we're rocking and rolling. So I apologize for that, but what a tremendous last couple of days, man. Oh, my goodness. I'm still in shock over the news yesterday. We had almost 9,000 live viewers total between the emergency OTS yesterday afternoon before SmackDown and with SmackDown. I think we covered the Vince McMahon shit as better as anybody in the community. Gave you everything you needed to know. Went over exactly what needs to happen. Why it happened. What's the possibilities of Triple H or Paul Heyman or somebody taking over creative with Vince McMahon retired and Bruce Pritchard hopefully on his way out and Kevin Dunn hopefully on his way out. We did a lot yesterday, man. We did a lot yesterday. If you missed any of that stuff, man, it is all on the homepage. Go and check it out. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. That's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo. Everything you need is linked in the description below. Go check out all the other videos that you might have missed on the channel. Make sure you guys get those super chats in. We will hang out at the end of the show with our cold beverages and read through them all. I will be live tomorrow night. OTS flagship podcast live at 8 p.m. It will be members only. It will be members only. So make sure you guys get those memberships in. Become a VIP. Become a channel member right here on OTS. It will be a members only live stream chat. So if you guys want to be a part of that, you got to get in. It's a very exclusive club. Also, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. We got 1,700 people in the venue tonight. I need 1,000 minimum. 1,000 minimum. Tonight on the ROH Death Before Dishonor post show. And tonight's show sponsored by Audible, my great friends over at Audible. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Make sure you guys go and hit them up. John Moxley's book is now available. You guys can go pick that up. 9 hours of Jon Moxley narrating his own autobiography, man. And there's a couple of Kevin Dunn hit pieces in there that I hear are fantastic. Link is in the description, man. audibletrial.com/scripts. Go get your free audiobook and 30 days of their service completely free on me. And I want to thank them for once again sponsoring the podcast right here on OTS. Let's start with the Ring of Honor 0 hour pre-show, man. It was a pre-show, and it was fast, and it was furious. We got a lot happening on the pre-show. Colt Cabana defeated Anthony Henry with J.D. Drake, the fake J.D. J.D. Drake. Colt Cabana's back, man. There was been a lot of rumor has been going around about Colt Cabana. Is he going to be with Ring of Honor? What's his standing with Ring of Honor? Is Tony Khan punishing Colt Cabana because of the feud with CM Punk? A lot of things going around in regards to Colt Cabana. I didn't really entertain any of it because, quite frankly, it's none of my business. And I don't think Tony Khan is that kind of businessman to, choose sides over a friendly argument or not really friendly. They're not friends anymore, from what I understand. An argument between two ex-friends. Two people that were best friends at one point. So Tony Khan kind of deaded those rumors with Colt Cabana. He is going to be a part of the Ring of Honor brand, and I think that's an excellent move. Anthony Henry. Anthony Henry is somebody that I hope sticks around with Ring of Honor as well. He's somebody that has a great look. He's very good in the ring. He got really the short end of the stick in WWE, did Anthony Henry. He was in NXT. I don't know if you guys remember. He was Asher Hale on NXT. They didn't really do much of anything with him, and then he eventually got cut when the new initiative was put into place that WWE didn't want to really bring in any indie talent anymore. He was cut off because of his height. He was cut off because of his weight. So they kind of let him go because he didn't really fit the mold of what they were looking for anymore, and he didn't really get an opportunity to show anybody what he's really capable of. They just let him go. So he was on NXT at one point under the name of Asher Hale. Some of you might not remember. Some of you might not remember who he is. I barely remember who he is, but I do know that he was on NXT. I think that he would thrive really well in Ring of Honor. I think Ring of Honor, with Anthony Henry on Ring of Honor, I think it would be a good foundation, a good starting point for him to start all over again and make a name for himself, show everybody what he could do, and eventually work his way up to Dynamite, because that's what I hope Ring of Honor is here to do. I hope Ring of Honor is a foundation where Tony Khan takes guys like Anthony Henry and he builds them up on Ring of Honor, and then they get to a point where NXT was supposed to be the developmental for the main roster. I hope Ring of Honor is going to be the developmental for AEW. And I hope that's the way Tony Khan has envisioned how he's going to work with Ring of Honor. And I think Anthony Henry fits into that very well. Colt Cabana looked great here, man. I really enjoy Colt Cabana. He's so fluid in the ring. He's very entertaining to watch. So Henry hit some knees to Cabana's head. Colt caught the leg and hit a back suplex. He hit the bionic elbow for a couple of spots there. And he got some hard chops in on Anthony Henry. He went for a flying apple and then a lariat. He got a 2 count. J.D. Drake on the outside distracted Cabana and was able to drive him into the guardrails behind the referee's back, which led to Anthony Henry hitting a running kick on the floor before hitting a beautiful frog splash for a 2 count. So Cabana then dodged a drop kick off the top rope, went for his Billy Goat's curse, but Anthony Henry slipped out and went for a German suplex. Cabana then kind of dead weight with Anthony Henry and countered into a Billy Goat's curse again. J.D. Drake got on the apron to distract him again. Cabana took him out. Henry ran at Cabana, dodged and hit a back suplex before hitting a top rope moonsault for the pinfall. Very, very good match. Colt Cabana is still going, 20 years plus. Anthony Henry, I like to see someone like Anthony Henry again get used in Ring of Honor and get some momentum built underneath him. If they have any hopes of bringing in talent like that and developing them for Dynamite. I think Anthony Henry's a great cause for Ring of Honor. We got the Trust Busters. This is Ari Daivari, and Slim J. They defeated the Shinobi Shadow Squad. This is Cheeseburger and Eli Isom. So, Slim J, I didn't know I know who Cheeseburger is. I didn't know who Slim J was. I had to do my research on Slim J. Apparently, he was a part of the stable Special K in the early days of Ring of Honor. And he wasn't really anything special, man. He was one of those guys that they beat up and they threw around. So, that's that. And he's teaming with Arya Daivari. Apparently, Tony Khan has this vision for Arya Daivari and Slim J, and he's put them in this group called the Trust Busters. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with these two guys. They may also find themselves as a staple on Ring of Honor. And that's the type of talent that you need to get on Ring of Honor. Arya Daivari is perfect for Ring of Honor. I think that is great. So they beat the Shinobi Shadow Squad here. Decent tag team match. And Tony Khan is really trying to establish the Trust Busters. Berger rolled under a clothesline from Daivari, tagged out to Eli, who ran wild, hitting a back suplex on Daivari. Cheeseburger put Slim J on the top rope, but Slim J did a tornado double underhook suplex on Cheeseburger. Slim J then hit a cutter on Eli. Daivari then hit a frog splash on Eli for the 1-2-3. And that was pretty much the end of that. A little decent tag team match there. And like I said, Tony Khan is trying to establish the Trust Busters as a formidable duo in the Ring of Honor tag team division. Lexi Nair was backstage. This is something that I was desperately trying to find answers on, but nothing was available online at all. Lexi Nair was backstage and interviewed Prince Nana, who made his return to Ring of Honor tonight. And Prince Nana announced that he had purchased Tully Blanchard Enterprises. Prince Nana has returned to Ring of Honor and brought his embassy back. The embassy is now back on Ring of Honor television. I didn't really understand what was going on here. Tully Blanchard Enterprises was given a lot on the last pay-per-view. Supercard of Honor was filled with Tully Blanchard Enterprises. We got Toa Leona, we got Khan, and we got Brian Cage, all looking the part. This was Tully Blanchard Enterprises. They made a big deal leading up to Johnathan Gresham joining the group. Johnathan Gresham joined Tully Blanchard Enterprises as Ring of Honor World Champion right before his match with Lee Moriarty on Rampage. And then all of a sudden we get to the pay-per-view and Tully Blanchard's not there. No sign of Tully Blanchard at all. Prince Nana has said that he purchased Tully Blanchard Enterprises. Hopefully we find out what's going on with Tully, but right now there is no news available. He bought them out. That's the storyline that they're going with. He bought them out. I don't know if Tully Blanchard's sick. I don't know if Tully Blanchard is going through a health thing. I don't know if Tully Blanchard's contract is up. I don't know if Tully Blanchard doesn't want to travel with AEW and Ring of Honor and do all the traveling between both shows back and forth. I don't know. We don't have any answers on why Prince Nana all of a sudden bought Tully Blanchard Enterprises. How much did he sell it for? What was the purchase price? Why wasn't I filled in? I would have bought Tully Blanchard Enterprises. Nobody knows. Hopefully he's okay. I enjoyed this match, man. I enjoyed this match a lot. This match actually should have been on the main show. The Embassy, Brian Cage, Khan, and Toa Leona, with Prince Nana defeated Blake Christian, Tony Deppen, and Alex Zane. All 6 men kept the code of honor. Reluctantly kept the code of honor. This was an excellent 6-man match. Excellent. This was all over the place. Deppen tried to do a code breaker on Cage. Cage looks phenomenal. I don't know why Brian Cage is not on TV more. I would really like to see Brian Cage become a staple on Ring of Honor, and I hope that's what that is leading towards as well. If they get some sort of TV deal or streaming rights deal, Brian Cage, Toa Leona, and Khan need to be on my TV weekly. I'm a big fan of this trio. Cage caught him, kicked him in the head, German suplex on Deppen, tagged out to Khan. Deppen managed to hit a leg trip, then stomped on the back of Khan. Zayn tagged in, hit a series of forearms and a flipping leg drop on Khan. Khan ducked under Zayn in the corner, flipped Zayn off, baited him into the ring. Leona was able to tag in. He took it to Zayn. Embassy got heat on Zayn for a couple of minutes, isolating him in their corner. Khan hit a big sidewalk slam on the top turnbuckle. And Zayn was in the grasp of Toa Leona. He hit a senton on the apron before he sent Zayn into a deadlift superplex by Brian Cage. Phenomenal stuff by these guys, man. Really showing their power and their intensity. Cage hit Zayn with a wheelbarrow suplex. Tried to knock Blake Christian off the apron. Christian dodged him and Zayn tagged out, hitting big moves on Cage before hitting a big Fosbury flop on the floor. Khan and Leona caught him. Tony Deppen blind tagged in, hit a cannonball that looked ridiculous through the ropes, and I mean that in the best way. It looked fucking brutal. Alex Zayn hit a moonsault to the floor on Cage, leading to Blake Christian hitting a springboard 450, and Deppen hitting a running knee on Cage for a 2 count. All 6 men now towards the end of this match hitting big moves on each other as Cage went to powerbomb Deppen. Christian and Zayn hit Inziguris on him. Deppen fired up as he faced off against Khan and Leona, and he couldn't handle the big men before all 3 hit massive moves. Leona hitting a Dominator while Brian Cage kicked Deppen in the face for the 1, 2, 3. Awesome stuff. I'd even go out there and say that Brian Cage, Toa Leona, and Khan should be on AEW Dynamite. We're getting trios titles, right? We're getting trios titles on AEW Dynamite. Eventually, I think they'd be perfect for the AEW Trios Championships. But Ring of Honor has 6-man tag team championships as well. And they were won by Dalton Castle and the boys tonight. Fuck that. Fuck that. I don't know what we're going to do with the 6-man tag team championships and who's going to be involved in that division for those sets of titles. But Dalton Castle and the boys, no, man. No, man. We're going the Embassy for the 6-man tag team championships. Fantastic stuff. They look so good together. Big fans of all 3 of those guys, man. They look the part. Their intensity, their power, their ferocity. They'll maul you, man. They look like they'll fucking slaughter you and rip you apart and leave the bones just laying there. I love it. It's fantastic. Future 6-man tag team champions right there in the Embassy. And if that is not happening, that's a big mistake. We got Daniel Garcia and a high package about him and Wheeler Yuta. Focused on Garcia being upset that Yuta talked about targeting Garcia's legs that were injured in his car accident, man. Really good stuff there. That video package, that hype video was excellent by Daniel Garcia. Willow Nightingale. She defeated Allison Kay. It was not bad for a ladies match on the pre-show. Kay was in control. Hit some hard chops on Nightingale in the corner. Nightingale ducked another chop. Hit some hard chops of her own on Allison Kay. Former NWA Women's Champion, I believe, Allison Kay. Kay hit a lariat on Nightingale for a 2 count. Both women were throwing big bombs at each other for the next couple of minutes. And then both women collapsed in the middle of the ring after just unleashing on each other. Nightingale hit a middle rope drop kick on Allison Kay for a 2 count. Kay kept going for submissions, but Nightingale kept fighting out of each submission and countering with her power to get out. And Kay finally managed to hit a strong 0 for a 2 count. She went for what she calls the AK-47, but Nightingale fought out, hit a big pounce on Kay before hitting a wheelbarrow power bomb that looked great. Folded Allison Kay up for the 1, 2, 3, and Willow Nightingale gets the pinfall. Really good stuff. I actually enjoyed this match with Willow more so than her match with Mercedes at the last pay-per-view. So Willow Nightingale, man, she's really getting some nice momentum underneath herself. I honestly see them going back to a potential Willow Nightingale and Mercedes Martinez match for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. I do think that when all is said and done, I think Mercedes is going to end up dropping that title to Willow. I think Willow Nightingale is going to be the Ring of Honor Women's Champion before the end of the year. That's just my prediction there. That was 0 Hour. And we get into the main card, man. Main card started off with Claudio Castagnoli with William Regal and Johnathan Gresham for the Ring of Honor World Championship. I watched this show on Verizon. Now, the pre-show was on YouTube. You guys can watch that anytime you want. If you guys want to go back and watch any of these matches, which I do recommend the six-man tag, no doubt about it, go back and watch it on YouTube. It's free. But I know a lot of people order through Fight, I believe, or Bleacher Report. Fight is okay. Fight is okay. I go through Verizon. I go through my cable provider because it's the most consistent and it's the most stable. I know I'm going to get a good feed through the cable provider. I heard a lot of people had trouble watching it on Bleacher Report tonight. I don't know how many times I need to tell you, man. Stop buying it on Bleacher Report. Bleacher Report is awful. Stop buying. I remember I purchased one pay-per-view on Bleacher Report. I'll never do it again. Early in AEW's inception. Never again. Go through your cable provider. Even if it's a little bit more expensive than what the price was originally, I paid $40 for it in HD. If you got to pay a little bit more through your cable provider, because I know some of them, you know, they are a little bit more expensive, do it. Fuck Bleacher Report, man. It sucks. Well, go through Fight TV. I'd rather you guys go through Fight TV than Bleacher Report. They just are awful. Claudio, surprised to see this start the match or start the show. And this was the first match on the show. But at that point, I knew, well, FTR and Briscoes are probably going to have a fucking complete barn burner of a match. And it's going to take up most of this show in what they're going to do there. And I kind of had a feeling that with Claudio and Johnathan Gresham opening the show, that the match was going to be very, very predictable. And after what we saw with FTR and the Briscoes, there was no way that if they opened the show, that no one was going to be able to follow this on the entirety of the night. So I'm glad FTR and the Briscoes closed the show. So Castagnoli started the match out by attacking Gresham right away with a European uppercut. Gresham dodged. He was out there with Prince Nana. Gresham dodged and went for the technical wrestling aspect of what he brings to the table. Gresham, he was on the defensive. Claudio hit a deadlift wheelbarrow suplex, and Gresham was fighting back. He had a drop kick to the knee on Claudio. He went for some more submissions. Claudio countered with his strength. Obviously, the stronger of the two is Claudio. Pound for pound, the strongest man in the business is Claudio. Doing a wheelbarrow backbreaker on Gresham. Castagnoli then went for a sharpshooter. Couldn't get it due to his knee because Gresham was attacking the knee. So he gave up, hit a double stomp on Gresham for a 2 count. Gresham was really taking his time here. He was hoping to wear Claudio down and force him to really just waste his energy. He went back to the knee repeatedly. That was the story of the match. Gresham was unable to hit a German suplex on Claudio. Claudio hit a backbreaker. Gresham responded with a shotgun dropkick. Hard forearm. Went into an ankle lock. Claudio made it to the ropes to break the ankle lock. Gresham started hitting some hard chops. This only made Claudio fired up. Gresham continued with the hard chops. Claudio hit a hard European uppercut, dropped Gresham down to the mat. Gresham chopped the knee of Claudio instead and blocked an uppercut before hitting an enziguri of his own. Castagnoli went for a UFO, but his knee gave out. So Gresham hit a lion salt and then rolled it into a German suplex for a 2 count. Gresham and Castagnoli kept countering each other until Claudio was able to hit hammer and anvil elbows to Gresham before hitting the Ricola bomb and pinning Gresham for the 1, 2, 3. He did manage also. I don't know why I didn't put it in my notes. He did get the Cesaro swing on, the Claudio swing. The Swiss Superman swing, whatever the fuck he's calling it, on Gresham. And there was a great overhead shot of the camera just showing Gresham going around and around and around and around. Claudio wins with the Ricola bomb, and he is the new Ring of Honor World Champion. He sat in the ring. He soaked in the moment. He was in shock that he won the championship. It looked like he had tears in his eyes. Finally won a world championship. Blackpool Combat Club now has Jon Moxley as the AEW Interim World Champion, and we have Claudio as the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. Like I said in the beginning, man, Claudio winning the championship was the right move to make. Tony Khan is starting this Ring of Honor venture. He's got to get the best interest of the product in the eyes and in the ears of Warner Media or Discovery or whoever, streaming service, streaming potential deal with Ring of Honor. I don't know what Tony Khan is devising and planning in the hours that he's not worrying about Ring of Honor and AEW. This was the right move to make. Absolutely the right move. I don't want to hear anybody complain about Claudio. Do not rain on this man's parade. Do not. He just won a world championship for the first time in his career. Yes, it was on short notice. Yes, the match had no build. Yes, the match went 11 minutes. Yes, the match could have been 1,000 times better than what it was. I get the feeling that, and I get a sense of people being upset with it. I don't know why. I don't know why you didn't expect this. Johnathan Gresham is great. Yes, Johnathan Gresham is very good at what he does. Yes, but Johnathan Gresham is not there to lead a brand, especially Ring of Honor, who was just purchased by Tony Khan, and he's looking for a streaming rights deal or a TV deal. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. And I don't want to shit on Johnathan Gresham. I don't. Fantastic pro wrestler. He is. It's amazing how far he's come. It really is. But Johnathan Gresham, believe it or not, you may be a big fan of Johnathan Gresham, and I'm here to tell you exactly how I feel. Johnathan Gresham, maybe it's different with Triple H in charge. Johnathan Gresham's ceiling has been reached in Ring of Honor. Johnathan Gresham is not expanding his talents past Ring of Honor. WWE would never give him a look to be anything on their show, ever. Just based on how they operate and what their mentality is. With Triple H in charge, potentially. Triple H loves a guy like Johnathan Gresham. I could see Johnathan Gresham being an absolute fucking blow-away talent on NXT 1.0, the black and gold. But Johnathan Gresham, man, it is very difficult, and I mean this, man. It's very difficult to overlook, how small he is compared to a guy like Claudio. It really is difficult to oversee that. It went 11 minutes. Yes. It went 11 minutes. That's all it did. It was a very middle-of-the-road match. It never got into that next gear. 11 minutes, you can't do that. You can't really go out there and have these guys have a great 11-minute match and then sit there and say, oh my God, this was a great match. No, it wasn't a great match. It was very average. You can't take it into the next gear by only going 11 minutes. But Claudio was the right choice for the Ring of Honor World title. You guys need to understand that. It didn't do much for me. Claudio won the title, and that was pretty much it. 6-man tag team championships. We got Dalton Castle and the boys against the Righteous. This is Vincent, Bateman, and Dutch with Vita Von Star. Now, this is my legit, and I'll be honest with you, man. JD, don't say he's small because his wife is online screaming discrimination about his size. Even though that's the truth and everyone knows. She can come after me, man. I love Jordan Grace. I didn't say anything about Johnathan Gresham that's bad. What did I say that's out of line? What did I say that was out of line? Everything I said is how the majority of the fan base feels. Johnathan Gresham was not the man to lead Ring of Honor. I'm sorry. You can cry, bitch, and moan that Cesaro, Claudio, whatever the fuck is an ex-WWE guy. You can cry all you want. Don't rain on that man's parade. You can cry that he's a favorite of Tony Khan. Don't rain on that man's parade. Claudio is the guy to lead Ring of Honor in the business aspect of what Tony Khan needs to do for Ring of Honor. I don't want to hear it anymore. Johnathan Gresham's size is going to hold him back. That is not a secret. It is not a secret. If Vince McMahon was still in charge, he would go nowhere. He'd be chasing the 24/7 title. He'd be as good as Akira Tozawa on Monday Night Raw. Just because I know how that show operates and how those people operate. He'll be back. He's going to be a staple in Ring of Honor. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not familiar with the Righteous. I'm familiar with Dalton Castle. I'm not a big fan of Dalton Castle, even though I think Dalton Castle is a very good in-ring talent. Gimmick doesn't do anything for me. The whole vibe of Dalton Castle doesn't do anything for me. But I really like the Righteous, man. I think they got a great look. I do. I think Vincent's got a great look. I think Dutch, for a big man's got a good look. They got some Wyatt family vibes to them. Not anywhere near the Wyatt family, but they got some Wyatt family vibes to them. So this was the first time that I actually seen what they were capable of in the middle of that ring. They definitely have the significant size advantage over Dalton Castle and the boys. Castle grabbed each of the boys at one point and threw them over the top rope onto all members of the Righteous. That was pretty silly. It almost came off as if there was 1,000 of them, and it was the same two guys going in and out, over and over again. So Castle grabbed each of the boys and threw them over the top rope onto all members of the Righteous. Crowd cheered and enjoyed this several times over. The boys managed to dodge an attack from Vita Von Star. I don't know if Vita Von Star is Tony Brown booty meat approved. I need Tony Brown to fill me in. I don't know. So they managed to dodge an attack from Vita Von Star, but Dutch, of all people in this match, hits a fucking tope con hero over the top rope on the boys. Righteous hit a series of moves on the boys, nearly got a 3 count. Castle broke it up. Vincent hit a tope on Castle. Castle then hit a rebound Hurricane Rana on Vincent before tagging in and hitting a huge German suplex on Dutch. And then he hit the Bangarang on Bateman for the Tyler Bateman for the 1, 2, 3, and that was it. That was it. Dalton Castle and the boys win the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team championship. I don't know, man. Match didn't really do much for me. But I got to see some new talent that I've never been, showcased to before. I thought the Righteous looked good. Dalton Castle and the boys, this is their second go-around with the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team championships. This match was made basically on Friday during Rampage. No build to it at all. No real investment from fan to product as far as this match is concerned. But Dalton Castle and the boys, like I said earlier with the Embassy, Brian Cage, Tony Leoa, and Khan, those are your next 6-man tag team champions. And those guys, I want to see destroy Dalton Castle and the boys and really dominate and set themselves apart from what Tony Khan has planned for the 6-man tag team championships. I think that would be fantastic. So you got Dalton Castle and the boys winning the 6-man Ring of Honor tag team championships. Wheeler Yuta with William Regal. This was for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship against Daniel Garcia. The judges for the title match were Josh Woods, Sean Walter, and Ace Steel, with Woods having his mouth guard in during the judging panel, during the duration of this match. I was very much looking forward to this match, man. This was something that they built up quite nicely through video vignettes and through backstage promos with Daniel Garcia. This was a physical match. This was going to be a match that potentially could steal the show. And I really felt with Claudio winning the World Championship in the open of the match, in the opening of the show with the first match, him winning the World Championship, it was a great moment, but it wasn't anywhere near what the match was truly capable of. It was 11 minutes. Then you got the 6-man tag team championship. We got 2 matches that were very middle of the road. So I was really looking forward to this match to really stepping up and blowing us away, just based on the talent that was involved here. We got 2 title changes in the first 2 matches. I did not see Wheeler Yuta losing the ROH Pure Championship, even though I did predict on Dynamite Wednesday that Daniel Garcia would win the title. I felt a little bit differently after I said that. I'm like, I don't think Wheeler Yuta is going to lose the championship. And he did not. He was successful in the title defense here against Daniel Garcia. So William Regal was on commentary. He talked about the history that he had with Ring of Honor, which was always a nice touch. How he sent many young wrestlers to Ring of Honor while he worked for WWE, because Ring of Honor was the foundation of professional wrestling, noting that he gave the likes of Bryan Danielson his tights and his boots, which he wore for years in Ring of Honor. Just that little personal touch of William Regal telling you that on commentary really goes a long way. It really does. They were grappling in the first couple minutes of this thing. Garcia hit a headbutt on Yuta, dumped him to the floor over the top rope. Regal was putting over Yuta and even putting over Garcia in this. He did. Garcia, I believe, wore the same color trunks as William Regal wore back in his day, which was a nice little touch. There was even a part in this match where Daniel Garcia used the Regal stretch, and William Regal acknowledged it on commentary. This match was fantastic. With William Regal on commentary, man, every time he's on commentary, he adds such a beautiful touch to everything he does. That's how valuable William Regal is to any company that he's with. How they let him go, man, I don't know. I don't know how. Triple H is probably fucking kicking himself over what they did. Triple H probably wants to shed blood after what they did to his fucking... Imagine having William Regal on your fucking army, man, as one of your generals, and they fired you. They fired him. Now Triple H is head of talent relations, and he's getting somewhat of that power back, and now William Regal's over there in AEW. Now he's working with Bryan, and he's working with Moxley, and he's working with Yuta. Sure, Triple H is very happy for him, but how the fuck can you let someone like that go, man? Look at what he just did in this match. On commentary. I don't get it. And the knowledge that he's probably bringing to the backstage atmosphere, to Tony Khan and the producers and everything that he's a part of, man. You can't buy that. You can't. You just can't bring anybody in and have them do what William Regal does. It's amazing. So, Yuta, after the headbutts, this was all over the place, man. There was a lot of submission-based moves in this thing, which I was happy to see. The crowd was a little, I would say the crowd was a little quiet, on the quiet side during the actual submissions. But for the counters of the submissions, and then the pinfalls, and then the real great ending, they really popped for everything, man. They really did. So, Regal was putting over Yuta and Garcia here, talking about the little things that they have to do and the little things that they were doing. Regal talked about how Garcia was amongst some of the best young professional wrestlers today, and he was pleased with how Wheeler Yuta was handling Daniel Garcia and how good he is. Yuta managed to catch Garcia with a slam and a senton in the middle of the ring. Yuta transitioned from a single leg crab into a bow and arrow lock on Garcia. Yuta managed to hit a series of German suplexes on Garcia, transitioned into a double wrist lock, and went for a Kimura. So, to break out, Daniel Garcia bit the ear of Wheeler Yuta from the Kimura lock. Crowd was booing. Garcia rolled his elbows across the ear of Yuta, kind of rubbing that skin into the soft part of his ears, right? Regal talked about how working the ear can create cauliflower ear. This guy's all over the place, man. He's telling you exactly what something like that and the physicality of something like that can do to a performer. Again, you cannot put a price on what this man does for your brand. So, Garcia hit forearms to the ear of Yuta, continuing to work over what he has been working on there with the ear, the cauliflower ear. They really made that a story here in this match. Yuta grabbed the ears of Garcia while they were on the top rope, hit forearms to knock him off, avoiding a drop kick from the top rope. Both men started to exchange chops in the middle of the ring, and they were on their knees. They were getting back to a vertical base. They continued to slap the shit out of each other. Garcia went down after a hard shot from Yuta, and Yuta asked for a 10 count because he thought he knocked Daniel Garcia out. So that's one of the rules in the Pure title match, is you got to get up at a count of 10. It's like a last man standing match. So Garcia got up at a 9. Yuta, as soon as he caught Garcia coming up at a 9, hit a German suplex. He goes for a quick cover, only gets a 2 count. Garcia and Yuta exchange a series of submissions. Crowd was going crazy from this. They loved the back and forth counters. They didn't really pop so much for the actual submission being applied, but when they were going back and forth and countering each other, that's when they really started to come alive. So exchange a series of submissions. Garcia went a little bit too far on a sharpshooter. Yuta caught him out of that with a bulldog choke. Obviously learning that from Jon Moxley. Garcia went and locked on a Regal stretch, but wasn't able to get it how he wanted. William Regal did a and was kind of showing his satisfaction towards Daniel Garcia, the fact that he knew how to do William Regal's submission move. So Yuta locked on a lion tamer on Garcia, and he popped the fucking crowd with a goddamn Boston Crab. He popped the crowd with a Boston Crab, did Wheeler Yuta. Incredible. Garcia had to make it to the ropes. You only get 3 rope breaks in the pure title matches. So he expended one of his rope breaks, did Daniel Garcia. William Regal on commentary said that he would be very unhappy if Wheeler Yuta took the cheap route out and got to the bottom row. This man was on commentary telling everybody that even though Wheeler Yuta is a part of the Blackpool Combat Club and is the ROH Pure Champion, he would be dissatisfied with his performance tonight if he used the bottom rope to break the hold. He said, I don't want him to take the cheap way out. I want him to learn how to counter. I want him to show us how he has been learning under the tree of Bryan Danielson and learning under the tree of Jon Moxley. He's got to get his way out of the submission instead of getting to the bottom row. Incredible. I love it. Garcia made it to the bottom rope, so he expended one of his rope breaks. Garcia had a pile driver on Yuta for a 2 count. Garcia decided to do the Bryan Danielson stomps on Yuta, which was a nice touch. Yuta dodged it, trapped the arms for a flash pinfall, 17 minutes, and Wheeler Yuta retains the Ring of Honor Pure Championship. This was, at this point, the best match of the night. Incredible. Absolutely fantastic. Both guys are so fucking good. So good. And this match lived up to every little bit that they talked about. And William Regal added such a beautiful touch on commentary, man. This was one of those matches that you got to go back and watch. Seriously. Awesome stuff. And Wheeler Yuta, man, so good. How WWE passed up on Wheeler Yuta as well when William Regal wanted to bring Wheeler Yuta into WWE. He did. And it's come full circle that he's now in AEW with Wheeler Yuta, and Wheeler Yuta is in the Blackpool Combat Club with William Regal, man. Such a great fucking story. Just a great story. Roosh went one-on-one with his brother, Dragon Lee. This is something that got added on Friday at Rampage. And I was looking forward to this match, man, because I know what Roosh is capable of. Dragon Lee is incredible. Dragon Lee is somebody that I saw personally for the first time in House of Glory. They actually brought in Dragon Lee to team with Dralistico against our tag team, main event, Midas Black and Jay Lyon. And they absolutely killed it. That tag team match was fantastic. Hopefully you guys are going to see that soon on the House of Glory YouTube channel. And it went to a double countout. So I'm assuming they're going to run it back. When? I don't know. But I was very much looking forward to this match. And this match, again, up until this point, when this match was over, I said this is easily the match of the evening so far. Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia owned match of the night. And then we got Roosh and Dragon Lee. This was fucking great. This is Roosh facing his legit brother for the first time, showing respect that he wouldn't normally show anybody else, but he's showing respect to his little brother. Shook his hand. Roosh and Lee engaged in some mat wrestling to open the match. Really uncharacteristic of what Lucha Libre is here, but Roosh was frustrated fairly early on here, and he went the physical route on Dragon Lee. He started laying in those fucking strikes early. Lee responded by hitting a big kick to the face of Roosh. Roosh then came back with a shotgun drop kick, a tope con hero. Crowd going crazy already for this shit. You knew this crowd was amped up. You knew this crowd wanted to see a fucking barn burner between these two, because you knew that crowd knew what these two guys were capable of. Roosh started taking Dragon Lee around ringside, throwing him into the barricade everywhere. Took advantage of the match. Roosh then took Dragon Lee and put him in the corner for a drop kick. Lee got his hands up, though, to block the drop kick. Roosh paused, kicked him in the face. This got Lee angry. Roosh anticipated some offense coming from his brother, hit a body slam. Dragon Lee ended up on the outside. Roosh sat him on the ringside table. Dragon Lee decided to lawn dart himself with a tope suicida onto the fucking table, crashing through his brother and the table, through a tope suicida, through the ropes. Unbelievable spot. Unbelievable spot. So, after that, crowd was going crazy. Chants of holy shit, holy shit. Back in the ring, Dragon Lee hit a double stomp for a 2 count. Roosh and Lee then hit a series of hard strikes. They were going at it with the strikes, big time. This left both guys laying in the middle of the ring. Roosh then hit a deadlift superplex into the ring for a near fall. Dragon Lee and Roosh then back on the hard chops on each other, this time on the apron, ending with a super kick from Roosh and a flying knee on Lee. Lee then rushes at Roosh, and Roosh hit a belly-to-belly on his brother onto the fucking floor, over his head, throws him off the apron, hits the floor, he splats on the fucking mats on the outside. Absolutely ridiculous. That was a holy shit moment in itself. Roosh then was arguing with a fan on ringside. He was speaking in Spanish. Lee, all of a sudden, back in the ring. This gave Lee enough time to hit a top rope Hurricane Rana on Roosh. Lee and Roosh then exchanged more chops and strikes in the middle of the ring. Roosh hit a belly-to-belly in the corner, landed on his head, hit the big corner drop kick on Lee, that big shotgun drop kick. Lee kicked out of the big shotgun drop kick, which I believe is his finishing moves. His finishing move, the bull's horns, he calls it, the bull's horns. So Roosh put Dragon Lee on the top rope, went for another superplex, but Lee cut him off, hit a double foot stomp, and only got a 1 count. Dragon Lee came back with a Liger bomb. Roosh kicked out again. Dragon Lee hit Roosh with what he calls the incinerator. Roosh kicked out, so they both kicked out of their finishing moves. Roosh then, I guess, at this point, was playing possum. He pretended like he was hurt, and then he lured Lee in and hit the bull's horns eventually for the 1-2-3. Threw him into the corner, played possum with him, threw him into the corner, hit the bull's horns, running shotgun dropkick, and that was it. That was it. Roosh is going one-on-one with Jon Moxley on Wednesday. I don't give a fuck if there's no build for the match or if it's just randomly put together. I don't give a shit, man. Roosh and Jon Moxley on Wednesday, take my money. Now you guys see what Roosh is capable of. Now you see why Roosh was brought in to be paired with Andrade. And I'm making this known right now. I don't know where he's going to fit in, but if Tony Khan is not signing Dragon Lee to a fucking contract for Ring of Honor or AEW, I don't know what the fuck we're doing here, man. I really don't. Dragon Lee needs to be brought in, paired with Roosh, paired with Andrade, and we need trios championships around their waist immediately. That's what I'm calling for right now. Whether it happens in Ring of Honor or it happens in AEW, Dragon Lee needs to be signed to a contract with Ring of Honor or AEW. No doubt about it. I don't know how we get there, but it needs to happen. Unbelievable. This match was fantastic. It wasn't the most smooth match. It wasn't the most fluid match that you'd see anywhere. But I mean, it's high fucking speed, high offensive fucking carnage. Of course, there's going to be a little misstep here and there. There's going to be a missed Hurricane Rana spot. There's going to be a little miscommunication there. These guys went in there. Who the fuck needs enemies, man, when you got a brother like that that's going to bring what Dragon Lee and Roosh brought to the table on each other tonight? Seriously. Holy shit. Get this guy in with Andrade and make that fucking stable even more better or more powerful than it is. Trios championships for everybody, man. Come on. Awesome stuff. Mercedes Martinez and Serena Deeb. This was very good. I don't think Serena Deeb is incapable of having a bad match. I don't. This was, I would say, and this is no, I would actually take this over the ROH World title match. I'm not even going to say that this was the worst match of the night, even though it was good in its own right. Just means everything else was just fucking on top of just fucking everything. This match was good. This was much better than what Mercedes Martinez did with Deonna Purrazzo. This was much better than what Mercedes did with Willow. This was great. Very good stuff here. I think Serena Deeb is honestly incapable of having a bad match. Now, I would have went with Serena Deeb. I would have went with Serena Deeb winning the championship, but I'm not going to complain. Mercedes Martinez really hasn't done much of anything with the Ring of Honor World Championship. She would have been in the same boat like Johnathan Gresham, just having the championship to keep it warm for somebody else that is a more established name on AEW television. So I'm glad that they stayed with their gut instinct here. I'm glad that they went with their Ring of Honor champion. I'm glad that they stayed with Mercedes Martinez. I don't think it would have been a good look. But I was hoping for Deeb. I really was. Just because I think Deeb is the much better professional wrestler. There was a lot of grappling in this. There was a lot of feeling each other out early on. Deeb was always one step ahead of Martinez here. She blocked an O'Connor roll. Martinez got up, hit a spine buster, drop kicks in, Deeb out to the floor. Deeb hit a spear on the apron. And Deeb eventually was on the outside. She crashed to the floor in the process off this spear. Both women are out on the outside. So they end up battling back into the ring and onto the top rope. Martinez getting dropped into a tree of woe here. And Deeb kicked the back of Martinez repeatedly before hitting a drop kick in the corner. Deeb tried to transition into her Deeb talks, but Martinez fought out and hit a wrist lock takeover. Deeb tried to roll up Martinez. Martinez countered into a cross armbar. Deeb maintained control over Martinez. And Martinez transitioned into a guillotine choke out of the many attempts of submissions here by Serena Deeb. So then they're on the outside, I believe, and they're exchanging kicks. Crowd was into Serena Deeb a little bit more than they were into Mercedes Martinez. Martinez blocked a straight jacket pile driver and hit a running knee on Deeb. She was unable to go for the pin. Martinez missed a corner charge on Deeb, went to the top rope. Martinez cut her off, hit a spider German suplex back into the ring. Deeb landed right on her head. It looked like it sucked very much. Martinez then went for a forearm, and Deeb fell face first to the mat. Looked like she was knocked out. Martinez went for a Dragon Sleeper, but Deeb, I love this, man. She went for the Dragon Sleeper. She was in the process of applying that Dragon Sleeper submission, and Deeb bit the arm of Mercedes Martinez and escaped the Dragon Sleeper. Martinez went for a landslide. Deeb countered into a twist and shout. Deeb hit a tornado DDT into a Serenity Lock in the middle of the ring. Martinez rolled out into a pinfall, and she only got a 2. Deeb hit a Dragon Screw on Martinez. She went for the Serenity Lock again, working over the knee by driving Martinez into the mat. Martinez managed to roll out, sent Deeb into the middle turnbuckle face first. Deeb, she had her head trapped on the top turnbuckle. Martinez went for an OG drop, nailed it on Deeb. She then went for the sleeper again, locking it onto Deeb in the middle of the ring, and she really wrenched back, man. And the one thing that I really took notice of was Serena Deeb selling the shit out of that Dragon Sleeper, man. That looked fucking great. And Serena Deeb tapped out, and Mercedes Martinez retains the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. Very good match. Very good match. This was probably Mercedes Martinez's best match since she's been with the Ring of Honor AEW brand. Love it. I do think that with Willow Nightingale getting a little bit more play on television, I do think that Willow Nightingale is going to be positioned as the one to take that title off of Mercedes Martinez. I really do feel that. So this was an excellent match. I thought this was very good. Nothing on this show disappointed at all. Everything was really, really good up until this point. Samoa Joe and Jay Lethal. This was for the Ring of Honor Television Championship. I was very much looking forward to this because, man, I miss Samoa Joe on television. I missed Samoa Joe on television, man. Samoa Joe is so good. So good. A little bit of a different look for Samoa Joe, man. He shaved his hair. In the time off, he shaved his hair, man. He's all bald. Is Samoa Joe. So Jay Lethal makes his way out to the ring. He's out there with Satnam Singh. And Joe's music hits. Crowd goes crazy. Joe's got some pretty fucking badass theme music, man. He comes out. He doesn't even fucking give a shit, man. He's running down the aisle. He's attacking Jay Lethal before the bell is even rung. Smash has started. No bell has sounded at all. They're brawling around ringside. Chops on Lethal. Drives Lethal into the floor on the outside. Lethal managed to hit 3 suicide dives eventually on Samoa Joe. That's his stereotypical move. And this was all before the bell even rang. So Lethal was hitting some hard chops on Joe. And he was battling Joe by the barricade. And Joe got back into the game here by nailing Jay Lethal. Sat him in the timekeeper's area right against the barricade. Got a full head of steam. Ran right at Jay Lethal. Hit a big boot in the face. Right into the guardrail. Samoa Joe went to put Lethal through the announce table now. Again, the bell hasn't rung. He went to go put Lethal through the announce table, but Satnam Singh came out of nowhere, attacked Joe. Can't have a DQ because the bell didn't ring. So he got away with it. Lethal then wrapped the chair around Joe's arm, just like they did to send Samoa Joe into the Angle storyline injury. Wrapped the chair around his arm and threw him into the ring post. Still, the bell has not rung. So they're now in the ring. Joe and Lethal are in the ring. Joe is obviously selling the injury from the steel post shot. Satnam Singh is on the outside. Referee's not ringing the bell. Referee hasn't rung the bell. They're finally in the ring. He wasn't going to ring the bell until Satnam Singh left the ringside area. He kicked Satnam Singh out of the ringside area. So now he rings the bell, and now we got a one-on-one match. There you go. Bell is rung, and we got a one-on-one match for the television title. So he threw his jacket down. Satnam Singh was upset. He was protesting. Goodbye. Get him out of here. So all of the effort that Jay Lethal went into to get the advantage over Samoa Joe, Joe comes back with an enziguri in the corner. Looked great. Joe and Lethal exchanged big-time chops in the middle of the ring. Lethal hit a drop kick on Joe. European uppercut. Joe came back with a palm strike. He looked like he almost knocked Lethal out. Lethal hit an enziguri. Joe fell to the mat. Lethal again with some strikes. Joe came back with an elbow. Big forearm dive. That big suicide dive he does through the ropes on Jay Lethal. So Lethal was in the grasp of Samoa Joe now. He was going for a powerbomb. He broke up a powerbomb attempt. Went to attack the arm. And he ate a power slam after hitting the ropes for a 2 count. Lethal ducked under an STO attempt. Joe hit a lethal combination. He hit his own fucking move on him. He hit Jay Lethal's own move on him. Lethal put Joe on the top rope. He was going for a muscle buster. Jay Lethal was going for a muscle buster. Joe shoved him off. Joe hit a fucking leg lariat from the middle rope. That looked great. Nobody really knows how agile Samoa Joe is, man. All I hear is, oh, Joe's old. Oh, Joe's injury prone. Joe wrestled a fucking great match tonight, let me tell you. Leg lariat off the middle rope. Joe went for the muscle buster. Lethal slipped out. Hit the lethal injection, but Joe kicks out of the lethal injection. Who the fuck kicks out of the lethal injection, man? Awesome stuff. Joe then gets back to his feet. Hit a drop kick. Joe got sent into the corner. Lethal charged at Joe. Ate an STO from Joe in the corner. Joe was going for the muscle buster again, but all of a sudden, Sanjay Dutt comes out, distracted the referee. Referee was fixated on Dutt. Dutt apparently took the fucking steel pipe that they had used in the original attack of Samoa Joe, threw it into the ring. The referee got rid of it. His back was turned. Lethal went to go take the Ring of Honor TV title, nailed Samoa Joe over the head with the TV title, knocked Joe out. I thought that was it. That was a really nice spot to tease a potential title change, but Joe kicked out. Crowd was happy that Joe is still alive. Lethal went for the lethal injection again. Joe caught him, went for a rear naked choke. Lethal hit a jawbreaker, went for a dragon suplex, but Joe pulled Lethal back into a rear naked choke and choked Lethal out. Samoa Joe gets revenge, and he retains the Ring of Honor television title. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Jay Lethal, it is, again, like I said about Serena Deeb, it is absolutely incapable to have a bad match when you're in there with Jay Lethal. He is so fucking good. And Samoa Joe, man, this was the best Samoa Joe has looked in years. He's been out for a long time. He just came back. He made his return at Supercard. He's been out for a little bit. I think the last time we saw him in the ring legitimately in a major program was with Karrion Kross for the NXT Championship. He did not look good in that match. The feud was actually better than the actual match. Then they had him drop the title. They never brought him back on TV because they rebranded it as NXT 2.0. He dropped the fucking title, claiming that he had COVID. Give me a break. Samoa Joe did not fit into the plans of NXT 2.0. They wiped that fucking brand clean. Joe was not going to ever show up on television. Not when he was fired the first time. Triple H brought him back and made him the fucking champion, and then Bruce and Vince took over and found Joe as their champion. Fuck out of here, man. Goodbye. And he was eventually canned. Fired. That was the last time we saw him in the ring. He made his return. Came back. Wrestled a couple matches on Dynamite with Minoru Suzuki. There was a couple of matches there on Dynamite. Just getting his feet wet. He looked great tonight. He looked great. Still your Ring of Honor TV champion. What's next for Samoa Joe? I don't know. But more Joe on my television, please. FTR. FTR and the Briscoes in the main event. I don't even know how I'm going to go over this. How am I going to go over this? This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. There's no way that I'm about to go over this. When you look at the top matches of the year, this will be in discussion for top number 1 and number 2 matches of the entire year. I don't know which match is better. I don't know which you can honestly say is better. The first match at Supercard or this match tonight at Death Before Dishonor. I don't know. I want to say the first one because of the attraction of it, the first time that it's happening. I want to say it just because of that. But I think what these guys and what they did tonight, I don't know how you could look at this and say it was less than the first match or it didn't come close to what the first match did. I think they're both in discussion for match of the year. No doubt about it. If you take one over the other, that's up to you, man. This is all going to be a subjective thing. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you over it. All I know is at the end of this match, FTR is building a resume that would rival anybody. As far as what these guys are doing in this run, they may end up being the best tag team of all time. They're certainly the best tag team of this generation. Absolutely. Let's try our best to go over this. Everybody was excited about this. This was the main reason why anybody ordered the show. First fall. Briscoes got the first fall. You knew this was going 3 falls. Fantastic first fall these guys had. And the Briscoes got the first fall just under 20 minutes. Jay and Mark's game plan here was to pretty much get the early advantage, and they wanted to sweep. That was their game plan. So, Briscoes in this thing, 20 minutes, Doomsday Device, and they got it on Cash. They got it on Dax, I believe. And Dax was pinned. It looked like he fucking ate all of that Doomsday Device. Cash tried to get in there to break up the count, but it was no good. So the Briscoes were up 1-0. Briscoes then worked over Harwood, targeting the head, going for the neck. Even Doc Sampson got involved at one point. He was checking on Dax's shoulders, checking on his spine, making sure he was all right. Briscoes worked over Harwood, targeting the head, targeting the neck. Big impact off the Doomsday Device. Harwood created some separation here. Looked to tag Wheeler in, but the Briscoes had taken him off the apron, and when Dax went to go tag, there was nobody there. So there was no tag, and they kept up on the offense on Dax. Wheeler finally gets tagged in. Took out Mark Briscoe with the clothesline, delivered an absolutely devastating spine buster, goes for a quick cover, gets a 2 count. We got another close 2 count, which came off of a gory bomb or a gory special to Mark Briscoe. Got a shot to the face with a ring bell. This opened up Wheeler's face, and now there was blood. Blood has now made its way into the match. That did not keep him down. He got hit with the fucking ring bell. It did not keep him down. So all of this finally paid off. FTR, they evened things up with a big rig. Crowd popped fucking crazy for the big rig. 1, 2, 3. Pin Jay Briscoe. Things are now tied up at 1. So we're late in the third fall. Referee gets bumped. No officials out there. Jay had a pinfall that should have won him the match, and it went uncounted for. He hit the Jay Driller. Nobody was there to count. You could have counted to fucking 10. He wasn't getting up. A little bit later, FTR hit the big rig, only for Jay to kick out and become the first person to ever kick out of the big rig. I believe they mean in AEW. In AEW lore and in Ring of Honor lore, nobody's kicked out of the big rig. So that's what they were trying to relay on commentary here. I'm saying that's not really true because I know I've seen a couple of teams in WWE kick out of the fucking big rig. So they must be talking about in AEW lore. So they got the big rig. Jay kicked out, first one ever to do so. We got a table bump, which was fucking crazy. A table bump here with a back suplex, I believe, with Cash back suplexing Mark Briscoe through the timekeeper's fucking table here. This was absolutely ridiculous. I legitimately fucking jumped off my couch and fucking, oh my God, is he dead? Because Cash came off the second turnbuckle, and it looked like he hit all floor. Mark Briscoe went through the fucking table, which looked great. So we got the Jay Driller. We got the fucking table spot. It was crazy. So after the table spot, we move on, and I lost my fucking notes here. Hold on one second. So we got the table spot. Jay Briscoe was going for that pinfall. We got the table spot. Briscoe picked up Hardwood, called for the Doomsday Devices. Hardwood called for Wheeler. Wheeler came in, helped Hardwood hit the big rig on Jay Briscoe. Wheeler shoved the referee. Referee was out. Hardwood went for a superplex in the ring. Briscoe shoved Wheeler off the top rope. Got him in position for a big splash from the top rope. Briscoe fought out of a superplex. Brought Hardwood over and hit a Doomsday Device on Hardwood. Wheeler broke it up. Mark Briscoe and Wheeler started going back and forth, exchanging strikes. Briscoe and Wheeler spilled out to the floor after a superplex attempt from Wheeler. Dax and Jay started throwing punches in the middle of the ring. Jay got the best of Dax. Wheeler also came in and locked a couple of moves on Mark, and submissions were applied. Both men refused to tap out. Jay Briscoe set up for the Jay Driller again with Mark Briscoe. Wheeler hit a back suplex off the top rope, like I said, through the table. Jay Briscoe looked at the carnage on the outside. He couldn't believe what was going on. Hit a Jay Driller. Dax Harwood kicked out of another Jay Driller. Briscoe went for another Jay Driller. Harwood fought out, put Jay Briscoe on the top rope, fighting with him for a little bit. The match ends with a second rope spike pile driver by Dax Harwood on Jay Briscoe for the 1, 2, 3. Match went 45 minutes, and the FTR Briscoe match finally comes to an end, and FTR wins 2 out of 3 falls. Pile driver off the second rope. Pile driver looked absolutely fucking brutal. Brutal. My notes were all over the place because I wasn't even fucking taking notes in this fucking thing. I don't know how anybody could take notes during a match like this, man. It's fucking ridiculous. Everybody says it's easy. What we do is easy. No, it's not easy. It's not easy. I think I stopped taking fucking notes during this match. FTR wins. Absolutely one of the best tag team main events you'll see anywhere. First Briscoes FTR match was one of the best matches in tag team history. Where you rank this one, I don't know. You could flip-flop them back and forth all you want. They're going to go down as two of the greatest tag team matches of all time. This may be the best Ring of Honor tag team match of all time. That's easy to say. You could easily say this is one of the greatest. Listen, man, there's a special place in my heart for that Toronto match with DIY and FTR. It really is. I don't know. I don't know if I could really say anything was better than that. To me, that was the gold standard. But FTR, man, the matches that they've had with the Briscoes, DIY, the Young Bucks, the matches that they're going to continue to have with everybody that they're in, the resume that these guys are building for themselves is tremendous. I thought it was too early to be discussing these two as the greatest tag team of all time. At the end of this run, they may be the greatest tag team of all time. They now have the number 1 and number 2 matches of the entire year. When you look at the end of the year and who had the best year, it's going to be Cash, Wheeler, and Dax Harwood. There's no team better right now in the world. None. They deserve all the tequila that they could drink after this match is over. After the match was over, Cash Wheeler grabbed the microphone and asked Mark and Jay Briscoe to come back into the ring and shake hands and be shown the appreciation they deserve. They slowly came back into the ring. The code of honor was met. Harwood cut a promo about how pro wrestling saved his life. He loves this. Call him a Mark, but I love this. Caprice Coleman noted that he was scheduled to interview them, but they took it by themselves, and obviously Caprice Coleman was going to let them do what they got to do. As the show came to an end, Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta with William Regal walked out, looking like they were set to challenge FTR next. Are we really getting FTR versus the Blackpool Combat Club next? Is that what they're leading towards? Or is the Blackpool Combat Club looking to enlist FTR? Seems like the Combat Club wants to breed champions. I don't know. But if you're going to give me FTR versus Wheeler Yuta and Claudio, sign me up. Sign me the fuck up. Seriously. Maybe CM Punk gets back. Maybe we get a little trios action. Claudio, Wheeler, and Bryan versus Punk and FTR. Oh my goodness. This show was incredible tonight, man. If you guys missed this show, you missed out on pro wrestling. You missed out on pro wrestling. This will go down as one of the best shows of the year. You know, for all the fucking shit that AEW gets on a weekly basis, for all the shit that Tony Khan gets, they certainly know how to put on shows of the year. Right? Now, you could easily fucking bash Dynamite all you want for his style of booking or, you know, the botches that seemingly make their way online, or you don't think things make sense, or their bloated roster, or whatever the fucking case may be. But we're talking about Supercard of Honor being one of the best shows of the year. Death Before Dishonor being one of the best shows of the year. Forbidden Door being one of the best shows of the year. Revolution being, to me, the best AEW show of the year. How many shows of the year? I mean, for all the shit that AEW gets, they certainly know how to put on show of the fucking year. They never have a bad show. They're not perfect, but they never have a bad show. Now, I said it last night during my SmackDown Rampage coverage. I don't know what's going on with AEW the last couple weeks. I really don't. Last week's Dynamite was all right. This week's Dynamite and this week's Rampage, I don't know what had happened there, man. I felt like of all the weeks that I've been watching AEW, and I never, ever miss a week, I felt like this week I feel like they did their worst. I feel like AEW was at their worst this week. That barbed wire match with Eddie Kingston and Chris Jericho left a bad taste in my mouth. the rushed nature of the show left a bad taste in my mouth. The injuries, yes, are apparent. But the injuries, even though they're operating and they're okay, the injuries are starting to finally catch up to them. Bryan will be back on Wednesday. Thank Christ. Bryan Danielson will be back. They need him more now than ever. Bryan will be back. He's in the ring with Daniel Garcia on Wednesday. Good. Kenny Omega's on his way back. CM Punk should be on his way back. MJF, I don't know when he's coming back. Adam Cole, he's going to be out for a little bit. Now Tony Khan can focus on All Out. Jericho's going to be out. He's got a broken nose following that death match. Who knows what injuries Eddie Kingston suffered in that barbed wire death match. There's a lot of injuries, man. Kyle O'Reilly's out. Matt Jackson's out. Andrade's out. Buddy Matthews is out. There's a lot of guys injured. Red Velvet's injured. So many fucking injuries. I don't even know who else is injured. But the injuries are starting to catch up to them. And yes, it has hurt their television. But I do think that when all of these pieces of the puzzle are back, I do think that we're going to get the AEW show that we know. I think that excitement will come back. Right now, he's just trying to do his best to get by. And he's waiting and waiting and waiting. And I do think that, who knows what plans Tony Khan had? All of his plans had to be put on the back burner until everybody got back to television. Imagine having all those guys go out at the same time and you have to rewrite all of these fucking potential plans that you had. Give the guy some fucking slack. Cut him a fucking break. How many fucking shows of the year does this guy have to put on for you to believe in what he's doing? It's unbelievable. Ring of Honor is alive and well. If Tony Khan continues to book shows the way he does this show tonight, everybody's going to be thrilled. This is the type of show he needed to put a show on like this tonight. Because he's going to take this to the advertisers and he's going to take this to Warner Media and Discovery. Look. If this is not Ring of Honor's highest buy rate, I'd be shocked. If this did not at least triple Supercard of Honor, I would be shocked. It's alive and well, man. This was a wrestling show run by people that love professional wrestling. You can't get any better than that. That's the way it needs to be. I appreciate you guys very much, man. Sorry, I got a little lost on the Briscoes and FTR match, man, because my notes are all over the place, man. It is very. I hate when people tell us content creators that what we do is not a real job. It is so difficult, man. Taking notes like that during a match like that. At some point in the evening, it was like, fuck this shit. Whatever I say is not going to do it justice anyway. I appreciate you guys joining me, man, for the Ring of Honor post show. We're about to wrap up here. I need 1,000 likes. I see 805 likes, man. Hit that thumbs up. Thank you for making us the #1 Ring of Honor stream tonight in the IWC. Appreciate you very much, man. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. That's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo. Everything you need is linked down below in the description. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. And get those super chats in, man. Also, get those memberships in. Tomorrow we'll be live. We're off the scripts. Members only VIP chat. And again, I apologize for whatever the fuck I killed earlier, man. It looked like, I thought it was a bee. Or a wasp. It looked like it might have been one of them lightning bugs, man. He chose Death Before Dishonor. We killed him live on stream as I spilled my liquid death all over my fucking desk. That's why we call it off the script, man. Anyway, let's get into the super chats. #1 here, we got Nicholas with a $5 super chat. In the market for a new wallet, he says, do you still have a Ridge code? No, I do not. I am not partnered with Ridge at the moment. If no, might you get one shortly? I don't know, man. I haven't been sponsored by the Ridge in quite a few months. You could try it. I don't even remember what the code is, man. But if you go to the Ridge's website, man, they're going to give you, typically what they give us partners is not as much as what they give us if you go to the regular website. Just go to theridge.com, man. You'll log it. You'll go in there, and then they'll automatically give you like 20% off. If I was to give you my code, it wouldn't even be more than 20%. It'd be like 10%. But thank you, Nicholas. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for thinking about me, man. Jake Carpenter with a $5 super chat. Haven't watched the show yet, but had to stop in and support the number one podcast in the IWC. Been subscribed since 2015. Thank you for all that you do, bro. Appreciate you, Jake. Make sure you watch that show, man. It's a can't-miss show tonight. Hologram with a $20 super chat. I don't know if I like the first Briscoes vs. FTR match or tonight's better. Can we watch them beat each other senseless forever? What a banger main event. Top 5, Dead or Alive, 7-star clinic, shout out chat, OTS forever. Hologram was definitely a fight forever moment, brother. Guys, if you want to know how to join the channel membership and the VIP club, man, Nightbot is giving out the link. Just click it. AEW Mark becomes a new member. See, there you go. AEW Mark knows how to become a new member. Also, with a $5 super chat, glad to see the Briscoes sign a long-term deal with the Ring of Honor. This will get them to AEW soon, since Warner Media put ROH tonight on Bleacher Report. There you go. JP5150 with a $5 super chat. There was a pay-per-view, or that was a pay-per-view that was worthy of praise. Hopefully the main event shows Warner Media that them boys are money. Bro, they were money before Warner Media. Fucking suits and ties, man. For something that happened 12 years ago, man. It's unreal. Craig Skiff with a 29-month membership. Craig Skiff, thank you so much, brother. I believe you may be the longest tenured VIP in the whole fucking beer garden. Man, JD, Death Before Dishonor was an awesome show tonight. Tony Khan better have something special for All Out if he wants to top Death Before Dishonor. Thank you, Craig Skiff. Edward Serenson with a $5 super chat. Would the owner of a gray Mustang please go to the parking lot of the venue? Your lights are on. Edward, you mean the car that I actually don't drive? Says the Geeks Online. Little do they know, man, that's my actual car restructured to look fantastic in 4D. Jim Cornette with a $1.99 super chat. Will be in New Jersey, 7/15 through 19. Could I get a picture and best casino? I'm not going to be in Jersey till next month, bro. And best casino, Hard Rock. Hologram with a $5 super chat. JD just had a squash match live on OTS. Ha 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 ha. Death Before Dishonor, laughing my ass off. Well, it's called off the script, man. I'm still looking at him. He's fucking dead. It's right here. Ricardo Nunez with a $20 super chat. Great show. Salute, my brother. From Fort Worth, Texas. I just want wrestling. I'm drinking bourbon on the rocks. Cheers to you, brother. Bourbon on the rocks, man. What kind of bourbon you drinking? Nobody Greater podcast with a $4.99 super chat. Hey, JD, do you think Tony Khan is more likely to get Ring of Honor TV deal on another network to not overflood TNT? Love you, brother. OTS for life. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't care where they end up, man. Just get them live weekly television. All it needs to be is an hour. RJ Kluting and Trevor P become new members. Thank you, brothers. Thank you, guys. What are you drinking tonight? Tyrone Collins with a $4.99 and $1.99 super chat. The B versus JD, ROH Death Before Dishonor post-show main event. Yeah, it actually, I thought it was a B, man. It was fucking huge. It was like one of them lightning bugs that flew in here, man. I don't know where it came from. There's no window open and I got my air conditioner on. I don't know. Jeremy Lewis with a 12-month membership. Wait, 7 months. I've been a member for almost a year. Jeremy, it says 12 months here, bro. Glad OTS reviewed such an amazing pro wrestling show. Cheers, JD. Shout out to all my OTS fam. Thank you, Jeremy. Appreciate you, brother. Shakoy with a $2 super chat. Did TK ever have a bad pay-per-view this year? No. He has not had a bad pay-per-view. Munchie Time with a 17-month membership. Wasn't able to tune into Ring of Honor tonight. Had a wedding to attend. Glad to be a VIP member for over a year. Cheers, OTS family. Munchie Time, we appreciate you, brother. That's a long time, 17 months. Nobody Greater podcast. Hey, JD, another one. This is some of the money I saved using your honey discount. Really has helped me since I'm about to have a newborn soon. Well, congratulations, brother. JoinHoney.com/offthescript. Save some money using honey, bro. My boy James with a $5 super chat. Jerry, fuck that B. Tonight was a great night for pro wrestling fans, and it was well worth the 30. Glad to be here again. Much love to the OTS family. Thank you, brother. Christy Wilson with a $4.99 super chat. So happy for Claudio and Wheeler. Big night for the Blackpool Combat Club. Why not Dax, Christy? Happy for Claudio and Wheeler, but no Dax? And Captain Solo with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Captain Solo, with the $2 super chat. I appreciate you, brother. Fatality, flawless victory. He says, rest in peace to the B. Guys, it wasn't a B. I found out it was a lightning bug. If it was a B, I'd probably shut the whole fucking stream down because I wouldn't be able to concentrate and give you guys a proper review if there was a fucking bee floating around. Fun fact, JD is afraid of bees. I don't do bees, bro. I don't do bees. I don't do wasps. I don't do spiders. I don't do snakes or any reptilian race. I don't do frogs or anything slimy. I don't do none of that, man. If you need somebody to join you in the fucking jungle and survive, I would be your worst case scenario. Bushi Clementine with a $5 super chat. Bushi, thank you so much. That B, again, the B. It's a fucking lightning bug, guys. The B was the last remaining shred of Nick Khan's attempt to snipe WWE out of the McMahon lineage. In all seriousness, JD, the best in the IWC. Hashtag, what are you drinking? No, Captain Solo. I do not do centipedes, bro. I don't do any bugs, man. No bugs, no reptiles. None of that shit, man. Come on now. I don't do the outdoors, man. Fuck the outdoors. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me, man. This was quite the entertaining review, huh? Hope I got my point across. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll be back live tomorrow night, man. We'll be back with OTS 437. Tomorrow I am going to a family outing. I got to dress in something other than a t-shirt in 98-degree heat. And then I'm doing work in the office and I'm building a new desk. So I'll be a busy bee tomorrow. Anyway, guys, thank you so very much for everything, man. Hit that thumbs up on your way out. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Hit that subscribe button. You guys know it. Follow me on social media. Let me see those guitar emojis in the chat, and I need that music on max. Guys, I'll see you tomorrow night live for episode 437 of the podcast right here on Off the Scripts. See you guys later.